folks, how are you? Jim Miner, your South Scottsdale real estate agent, bringing you the Cromford Report, week ending, prepared by Michael Orr from Arizona State University, and he is the guru. When you want to really dig down, drill down, and find out the real specifics, what's going on in my zip code, in my neighborhood, my subdivision, Michael Orr is the king of kings when it comes to preparing his reports. Okay, let's jump right in. Folks, I want to spend this week talking about the dashboard. Okay, we cover this every single week, but I want to make sure people have a better handle on this because this really is an important piece of information to understand and get your arms around, because it's very enlightening of what's going on in the market. Now, as we've all seen, remember, some of you folks are very seasoned on here, but we have folks coming on new every week. Okay, so I need to kind of bring them up to speed. First off, dashboard. Looks like a dashboard in an old car. Okay, we've got the market index. That's the overall strength or weakness of the market. We have the demand index. Are buyers stepping up or buyers holding back? Supply. Are home sellers coming to the market with their listings, or are they kind of holding back? Okay, so we know what those mean. We're on the market. Here's the trend. Moving up. Doesn't mean anything unless you have baselines and know how to relate it. For you new folks, numbers on the side. 100 is your baseline. Anything above 100, we start moving into a seller's market. Anything below 100, we start moving into a buyer's market. You get down to 50, 55, which we have, by the way, in certain areas, the Buckeyes, the Santan Valleys, the Maricopa City, buyer's market there, folks. Opposite side, 160, 150, 140, 130, 120, that's a buyer's market. We have buyer's markets in South Scottsdale. We have them in Arcadia. We have them in Paradise Valley. Believe it or not, Sun City, that's another place we have buyer's markets. Okay? Now, let's take a look at these. Demand. What are the buyers doing out there? Well, it's flat. And that's not the best of things in the world, folks. And by the way, for you new folks, these are by the day right here. And you can see we start off over at 80.7 30 days ago. And now we're at 80.8. Wow, there's a move to write home about. No pun intended. I'd say this is pretty doggone flat. Let's look at supply. Just keeps going down. What keeps going down? The number of new listings coming to the market. We are actually at the lowest percentage of new listings coming to the market since Michael Orr's been tracking this market since the year 2000. Got to tell you, folks, kind of would like to get this trend turned the other way. All right? But because that trend's moving down, the demand is flat, that gives us a market moving up. All right? Lot to digest there. But that's what's going on. Now, I want to show you some other reference points for the Cromford Index. Okay, so we're going to scoot over here. And the first one I want to start with is the long-term chart. You folks have not seen this. Well, most of you, with outside of those we work very closely in drilling down in specific areas. Here we go. How many times have you heard me talk about 100 is the baseline? Anything above 100 is what? You're right. It's a seller's market. Anything below 100? Right again. It's a buyer's market. You can see what's going on. Okay, what do these bars represent? You can see across here the years. You can see the number, 100. You've heard me talk about last year at this time, we were up in that 160, 170 area. There's July 13th. We were 163.1 last year. And folks were selling their homes, and they were getting paid for it. And then you have the guy that came along a couple months later and said, I want to get what my neighbor got. Except the market already started to come down. And look what happened. We turned it into a buyer's market. Pretty quick, to be very honest with you. Remember when the market went crazy back in 04 and 05? Look at this. 312.3. Didn't have to be a genius. You didn't need this chart to understand that was a big time seller's market. Okay, but look where we are now. All right, this is why I want to show you these charts long term. You can see multiple years, but you can see this baseline, get a sense of how much we've been above it, how much we've been below it. As we know, when the market crashed, 26.5. pretty safe to say that's a buyer's market. Okay, now let's scoot back up. I want to jump over to the weekly. Here we go. Let's take a look at the weekly, and we're going to get a different kind of chart, and it's going to look like, boy, that looks like where you stick those little pegs together to make necklaces when you're, little kids. Okay, let me do a little explaining here. All right, the months, you got that. Remember that 100 we just looked at in the chart? There's your baseline. Over here, we have the color matching up with the years. All right, the black, 2012. Look where that line is, between 160 and 180. That whole year was a seller's market. Look at 2013. Oops, it really started to trail down, and then it got picked up over here. And of course, this is 2014 because we're only halfway through the year, a little bit over halfway through. And you can see it's below 100. It's been essentially a buyer's market since, look at this, week 45, November 2013. It's essentially been the buyer's market. And some of you are saying, yeah, okay, well, I'm confused. What's that mean? That means if you're in an outlying area and it's a very defined buyer's market, ask for concessions. And I know you're saying, well, what do you mean by concessions? Am I supposed to ask for their lawnmower and their pool equipment? Sure, but I'm thinking more of saying, hey, we want to get 3.5% contribution from the seller, 3.5% of the purchase price for seller contributions, which will be applied toward the appraisal, closing costs, etc. Now, if you march up here and you come into South Scottsdale and Arcadia and Paradise Valley and some specific areas in downtown Phoenix, and you say, hey, I want to get that 3.5% concession, good luck. You'll be lucky if you get the lawnmower. Why? Because that's where the strength is. That's more of a seller's market. Those markets are holding up very well. But if you just march along, well, my buddy got it down in Santan Valley, how come I can't get it in Arcadia? Give me a call and I'll tell you why. We'll point this out. That's why we use a lot of very in-depth studies here for our clients. Okay, but right now, overall in Maricopa County, you're looking at basically on a weekly basis, you can see this is a buyer's market. All right, now let's go up and we will look at the daily chart. So you can see that. So you'll see all three charts. Remember when we looked at the dashboard, we saw the line going up? That was for the last 30 days. Some of you wanted to see, well, what's it look like back farther? I forgot. Okay, well, here we go. That's why I'm pointing it out to you. We've got March. It's kind of a low point in here, 83.7. And look where we are up here, 93.7. So you can see this thing's been trending up. Why? Buyer demand, basically flat. Supplies declining. Something's going to happen here. Okay, now we're going to jump back over to the dashboard because we always look at a couple other things, okay, just to check them out, know where we stand on a weekly basis. All right, the next one's going to be pending listings. For those of you who are new, you will understand I love pending index because it is such a nice indicator for telling us what's happening in this market. And you know what? For the past several months, we've kind of seen this kind of a trend. Look what we've got going here. Does that mean we're going to keep going? I don't know, but I'm telling you, it caught my attention. This trough line is headed this way. Wonder what that means. We're going to find out in the next 30 to 60 days what that means. It could roll over, move on back down. It might just keep moving this direction, and that is a good thing. And that also is time to stand up, take notice, folks. Okay, now let's go on down here and look at days on market. See what's happening. How long are these homes staying on the market for sale? Basically pretty flat here, folks. Once again, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the world to figure out, that's flat. Exactly. Days are hanging out there around, look up here at the meter, 87 days. Okay. Hey, I've got to tell you, that's it for this week, but I kind of wanted to give you something you can wrap your arms around on this Cromford Index. It is such a nice piece of information. Okay. Jim Miner, South Scottsdale real estate agent. My number is 602-345-0433. Give me a call. We also accept text. Give me a call, and if you would like to get drilled down much tighter and you're looking for investment properties or maybe a new personal residence, then we want to be able to help you out. Give me a call on buying or selling so we can nail down the best price. Okay? That's where we're at. Also, a quick note, folks. because the market right now is, yeah, a little bit of a sideways movement. I mean, we're not getting radical movements one way or the other. I'm going to reduce these podcasts, down to once every 2 weeks. Okay, now do keep in mind if something comes up, Michael Orr puts out kind of a news flash, I will get that out to you right away, regardless of where we are. Okay, hey, that's it for this week. You folks have a nice week. Try and stay dry, keep the AC running, and I will talk to you this next week. Have a good day.